live from Southern California. You are watching the North American Hockey Authority presented by Today's California. I'm Craige Campbell with Today's California, and I am joined by a slew of individuals. As you can see here, we got a foursome today at Heethuis, the off-ice official for the AHL, the Coachella Valley Firebirds. And then, of course, we got Megan. I don't know. Is it Megan Ruth? Hey, Megan, I tell you, a wonderful Coachella Valley, Today's California collaborator and one of our photographers, credential media people at the Firebirds, and we got her in-house today. And, of course, Charlie, our producer and engineer, also credentialed for the Firebirds. And we have a great show today, man. Different segments, different things happening. We're going to ask you guys to participate, comment, let us know where you're watching from right now. And we have a few sessions, counterpoint, Beak of the Week. We got different things that are going on that you guys can participate and join in, and we would love for that to happen. So, hey, look, guys, what are we doing today? We're going to start with you, Megan. I have a couple questions for you because you've been on both sides of both the fans. And in fact, I feel like we discovered you. I discovered you. In fact, the entire Firebird fan club discovered you in season 1 and your family, as you guys made your ways down to the ice oftentimes to join me and join other photographers. So much fun. We've met your entire family. It was so incredible. You were so spectacular and a great photographer. Of course, we can get into that later, that I had to ask you to come on board and shoot this year for the Firebirds. Let me ask you, what's it feel like to be a fan versus actually shooting photography down on the ice there?
It's completely different. It's very, it was challenging at first going into photography down there because it's a professional setting compared to how I am as a fan. I'm two completely different people now there at the arena.
Are you more likely to be thrown out?
Charlie.
Are you more likely to be thrown out as a fan or as a photographer? That's what I want to know.
As a fan, 100%. 100%. I'm crazy and I get into it, and yeah, Craig knows you don't talk to me while the game's playing and I'm a fan.
It's so much fun. Every day she made signs, her family made signs, but she would come with different signs. And talking about chirping, Ed, she definitely, some of those signs were questionable and always welcome.
They were a lot. I still have all of them.
You still have them all? I mean, you should have brought them. Do you have your favorite sign, or do you have a favorite sign?
I think my favorite sign, just off the top of my head, would be the goals, because there's 2 L's in their names. I said, "Hey, goals, you drop this," and then the L is missing from the goals, and it's just sitting there on the bottom of the poster.
I see it. I see it now.
That's your loss.
Do you dream about these things? Does the family help you with the chirps on the signs?
No, that was all me last year. And then, of course, as you know, I brought family and friends. They had favorites on the team, so then I made signs for them, like, "Hey, number whatever, you're my favorite." So,
how many Riker Evans signs do you have?
I think I have 2 or 3.
About this, okay.
Yeah, just because he made it to the All-Star game last year, so of course I made signs for him for that too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a stud.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite Firebird player?
Well, Evans, obviously, from last year, but he's moved up now. Very proud. So this year it's definitely between 58 Connor Carrick and then 32 Tucker Robertson.
All right.
Loving the newbies.
I like Carrick as well.
Yeah, the newbies. Yeah,
Ed, why don't you fire off a few questions for our guests today? I know you have a few things in your mind.
I absolutely don't. I'm speechless. This never happens, but I'm.
That's true.
Nothing.
That's true. Just cut them out. Just make them a black screen. Let's move on.
I got questions.
He's sad because I didn't make sign for him. I'm so sorry, Ed.
Okay.
Megan, you obviously, like, last year, everybody knew you in the organization. So coming this year, like, we were starting out and everybody was high-fiving you, and I'm only just getting there. Have you really enjoyed the transition? Considering you have to be a completely different person, as we talked about before.
Yes, of course. I tell all my friends and family that I pinch myself every time I'm down there because it's really a dream come true to shoot for the team. Photography is like a dream for me, and it's always been a hobby, but I never saw it going anywhere. So to be able to experience that and put it on my resume is amazing. So yeah, it's a good transition and it's a good difference. So
you're so infectious, Megan, and that's why everybody loved you. Not only were you in the stands, but they liked you so much they put you out on the ice a couple of times. You were always participating in the promotional aspects of things, and that's the thing about hockey. Not only is it an amazing community and sport, you got the arena there, of course, is circular or oval, so it's a great position. You can so much going on there. You can be down at the ice or up at the top, people partying, having fun, but there's something special about being there on the ice, literally with the camera in hand, and that action, the ice hitting you in the face through the hole, through all the things that happen, and then the camaraderie of the team to put everything together is spectacular. It's really hard to explain, but one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah, I know. I love it. And speaking of hockey, I actually wasn't a fan before the Firebirds. I went to one hockey game years ago, and then when it came here, it just evolved. So that is,
there you go.
It is crazy.
You never
how
watched
much
any
it's
hockey on
changed
TV
my
either?
life.
No, nothing?
No, not at all.
You are Coachella Valley Firebirds #1 fan, inaugural year for sure, and now one of Coachella Valley Firebirds' favorite media people. And I'm so happy you're here, taking a little bit of time from your full-time job because your boss here doesn't pay you enough. And I appreciate you guys joining us.
Yourself?
I'm so excited. You don't even know how excited we've been waiting for you to come on and join us, just because you're such an important part of our team here at the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Hey guys, let me let you know what you're watching. North American Hockey Authority, presented by Today's California. My name is Craige Campbell. We have different segments. In fact, I'm thinking we could maybe just step right into a little bit of the show that you guys will be able to participate. 6 segments today. We often start off with the rules segment, and I think that's where we're starting today. Maybe we'll let Ed give us a little bit of
preview, huh?
There you go. What are we going to be watching in the rules segment?
Well, as this evolves, Craig, it's kind of a rules and game flow kind of thing. We've gotten through a lot of the basics, rules-wise, through the first 10 episodes. So today is more of a game flow thing, and it's all about set plays. A lot of people are very surprised to learn that hockey teams run set plays, but they run them all the time. And really what's going on the ice is more organized chaos than it is winging it on the fly like most people think it is. So I'm going to let Peter Puck, our imp of the ice, talk a little bit about set plays. Charlie, you got that ready for us?
I do. All right, guys. So this is about 1 minute and 14 seconds worth of demonstration by Peter Puck. Thank you to, who are we thanking for this video?
Peter comes to us courtesy of Packed Advertising out of Toronto. And if you're looking for Peter or Penny Puck merchandise, www.peterpuck.ca.
Woo. All right, here we go with Peter Puck.
Action, hockey fans. You know, this game may seem a little helter-skelter, every man for himself, but not so. The individual play and team play are really sophisticated planned action for the most part. Well-coached teams have organized patterns of play which they practice. Sure, there's ad-lib action depending on where I bounce, but players practice a lot of set plays too. Hey, Raph, give me a hand up for a demonstration, will you? Sometimes set plays are difficult for fans to recognize. That's because the players are so skillful and move from one pattern to another with such speed that it's hard to realize they are actually executing set plays. But here's one prearranged play that's practiced constantly by teams and is easy to spot. It's a shot off a face-off near the goal. Okay, let's go. The center on offense in this face-off tries to draw me back to his defenseman behind him, who then takes a shot on goal.
Yo.
And we're back. And the beautiful thing about set plays and the way Peter described that, on January 1st, New Year's Day, the Firebirds were in Calgary. And Shane Wright, you're going to see a clip upcoming. Shane Wright taking a face-off. The Calgary center gets thrown out of the face-off. They bring in another center. Shane loses the face-off to the forward that was designated to come in and take it. And a goal occurred, because that's what happens when you lose face-offs in your own zone.
Hey,
So
and I have a quick question for you about play calling. So, in football, you often see the wrist, the quarterbacks will have the wrist thing, or within the helmets, the plays can be called. In basketball, oftentimes you'll see the player put up a number, or you'll hear them calling out the number. As a point guard, I would come down and, call a certain play left or right. In hockey, are they calling them out? Do the plays come from the bench or the captain, or how exactly does the team know what's about to come?
As a general rule, the set plays are off face-offs and rushes. So the players implicitly know what they're supposed to do and where they're supposed to go.
Okay, for just to stop you right there. So what's the difference between a face-off and a rush?
Well,
one sounds like a fraternity. The other sounds like hockey.
well, off the face-off, everybody is in a set position. So it's real easy to run a play that's pre-designed. On a rush, as the guys are coming up the ice, you'll see, for example, a defenseman take the puck behind his net. He'll wait for the line change to complete. Everybody's on the ice. They start circling. Oftentimes a forward will come around behind the net, either take the puck, meaning that's one play, or he won't take the puck. The defenseman will skate it out, shoot it up the ice. That designates a different play. But it's organized chaos. They always have an attack method in mind. And the clip we're going to see is Calgary right off the faceoff. And Evan Pivnik, our announcer for the Coachella Valley Firebirds on the radio, does an absolutely fantastic job of describing this play.
To roll it for us, Charlie.
Here we go. Firebirds versus Calgary.
Break through. Another face-off to the right of Alex Stenska. Shane Wright, Cole Schwint on the face-off. We'll do it again. Referees tonight, Matthew Minetti is our referee, along with Brody Sutter, Simone Desbian, and Logan Parsons are our lines people. Face-off win for the Wranglers. Kuznetsov shoots, he scores! Jan Kuznetsov ties it for the Wranglers. A set face-off play, a wrist shot from the left point, and it's 1-1. Second of the year for Kuznetsov, as that one came right off the face-off and goes under the glove hand of Alex Stenska. Just a wrist shot. Not sure how much of it Stenska saw, but it ties the game.
All I could think about was you, Megan, the entire time, chirping on the side from your seats and going after that goalie. Not the goalie, but the other team. Quite a nice piece, wasn't it? I mean, it was quick, fast, and we didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
What would you have said, Megan? Tell me.
Who knows?
She would have
I'm really upset.
pictures of it.
I would have looked back, and that's what it would have been. It would have been that look of just disbelief. Her head would have been shaking.
Head down like this.
Yeah, but usually things would be coming out of her mouth, actually.
Yeah.
Do you ever get sore when you guys would hit the glass? Does that hurt? It does.
Yeah, my hands would be, because you have to do it open palm.
Oh, no, you're not allowed. So the fifth is illegal. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was fan protocol.
Yeah. Apparently,
Now-
when you hit it with a closed fist, you could break your hand or whatever. So
I'm assuming
palm.
that you got in trouble at some point, and that's how you learned that it wasn't something that you read or whatever. It was
no,
were
you live and you learn.
You were fisting it, and someone like, excuse me, ma'am.
Open palm. Yeah, they'll tell you. The security guard over there in the corner will tell you.
Oh, I love it. It's exciting. It's really cool. Hey, guys, you're watching the North American Hockey Authority. Let me remind you, please put some comments there. Let us know where you're watching from if you have any questions at all. This is broken up in different segments. We are kind of going through the rules segment and some set plays. Ed, I appreciate you setting that up. I was thinking about History Matters, maybe a little tradition we could talk about today. I know you always have something in that book of yours for us, Ed. What happened today in hockey lore?
This week in hockey history, I'm going all the way back to the inaugural 1917-1918 season.
How do you remember these things?
Well,
Kidding.
it's part of having wooden teeth. I am that old.
This is the point counterpoint we discussed earlier, which, by the way, is coming up. It'll be very exciting. We're going to be talking about wood versus porcelain teeth and which works better. Hey, we just lost Ed on that one. Ed's down.
Uh-oh.
Ed's down on the History Matters part. And then we have Ed's pet peeve. So we might have to jump all the way into the Firebird section since Ed's out.
Yeah.
There he's back.
Oh,
Ed's back.
You know what? History
Despite
Matters.
the fact that I was on Do Not Disturb.
Oh.
Despite the fact I was on Do Not Disturb, the phone call still came in.
Well, it's good you still have work, and that's
so.
History Matters, man.
Yeah,
Tell me what's going on today.
We were talking about the inaugural 1917-1918 season of the NHL, the first year of pro hockey in North America. And at the beginning of the season, if you can believe it, the goaltender was not allowed to leave his feet to cover a puck. And if he left his skates and went onto the ice, it was a 2-minute penalty for delay a game.
So I'm going to stop us for just something that popped in my mind. So last week we showed the goalie making a goal, and he bunny hopped 3 times. Now, would that have been a penalty in the old days to bunny hop in excitement? You remember he was jumping up and down after scoring?
And that was after the play ended. So
yeah, would that have been a penalty?
As long as he was on his feet, it would have been fine. But yeah, it was a 2-minute delay a game if a goaltender left his feet to smother or recover a puck. This week in the NHL in 1918, it only took 3 months for the NHL to rescind that rule and allow goaltenders to actually cover the puck for a whistle. The cool thing about that is the NHL realized it was taking goaltenders out of their element, and goals went from 12.2 per game all the way down to 8.9 goals per game, a savings of almost 3.5 goals a game, just by changing the rules and allowing goalies to do what they do, which is flop on the ice like a turtle, which is an old Howie Meeker saying from Hockey Night in Canada.
How many goals on average is there in an NHL game?
I would guess the current average to be 4.5 to 5.5. But
really, that's higher than I would have expected.
At this point.
But to go from 12-12 down to 4, quite a difference in just hockey play, athleticism, and everything else in the game. Got to be a very difficult position, Ed. I know you know a lot about it. You're out there, you're exposed, you're mentally, so many things going on. Pretty amazing to watch Joey Decor, our ex-Coachella Valley Firebird player, playing in the NHL. I know we have some stats. In fact, I'm digressing a bit, but you shared a little bit of information about where Joey's at right now in stats and saves. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at the NHL goalie rankings this morning, and after last night's Kraken win over Buffalo 5-2, Joey's save percentage puts him tied for number 3 among all NHL goaltenders. So there's a huge push. Yeah, no, great for Joey, and you know, it's so nice and fulfilling to see the kids we raised, right, Megan? The kids we watched last year blossoming into not only starters, but actually stars.
Yeah.
And with the NHL All-Star game coming up, there's a huge push in Seattle to get Joey onto this year's All-Star team for the All-Star game in February.
Hey, speaking of All-Star, guess who's got the AHL All-Star game this year?
Well, it's actually next year.
Next year. That's true. That's true. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually next year. But it's pretty exciting. Acrisure getting the classic All-Star AHL. You know, we've been on TV quite a bit here, our Acrisure Arena. Of course, it's brand new, just built out here, $400 million privately built arena out here, which is what the Firebirds have a chance exactly to play in. If you've never been there, most incredible stadium around, both for music and all kinds of things. Pretty exciting for us to have out here. You know, a lot of neat things out here in the Coachella Valley. And of course, this is the North American Hockey Authority presented by today'scalifornia.com. So I don't mean to interrupt what we were discussing or talking. I know we've gotten through a little bit of history. Hey, Ed, are you feeling a little bit peevy, or do you want to get into some beaks and chirps?
You know, the beak of the week this week is absolutely fantastic, because we've talked in the past about how do referees control a game when everybody on the ice is being an asshole. And then there's no other way to describe it. Sorry for my language, folks. But when you've got 10 players on the ice all being absolute literal jerks and not listening to the instructions given by the referees running the game, sometimes they have to take matters into their own hands. And in this particular case, sometimes the best way is to just get them all off the ice. And Charlie, you want to roll that clip for us to see exactly how an NHL referee handles this situation?
Well, we're actually going to be able to watch this one as we've done before. So here we go. We are adding our video to the screen.
Oh, there we go.
Play it. We'll be able to watch it and comment.
You're going to get penalty number 7 has 2 minutes for goaltender interference, 2 minutes for roughing. Florida number 12 has 2 minutes for roughing, and then every player on the ice has a 10-minute misconduct. Florida
that was earlier this year.
Those are brothers, aren't they?
10-minute misconduct.
Did you just say everybody on the ice gets 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They just said it in the locker room. It was because there's 7:22 on the clock. Okay.
Look how empty the bench is.
Is there even room in the penalty box? How many people can stay in that penalty
Well,
box?
that's what I'm saying. They sent him to the locker room because there was only 2 minutes left. And they
I
got
gotcha.
As the bench is thin out, there's plenty of room now for everyone.
So what happens? Does anybody actually play, or how does it work? Do we just wait 5 minutes until everybody comes back?
No, it's a 10-minute misconduct. They're all gone.
The games are over
for the rest of the period. But when you're a referee,
but who's playing? I mean, everybody goes off the ice. Are you literally on hold for 10 minutes, or do we get to watch a little hockey?
It's only 5 players from each team, so there's.
Oh, I got it. So you're still going to play 5-on-5. You just have to remove
all those
players.
players.
You lost one line. You still got 2 sets of defensemen and 3 sets of forwards that are ready to go.
Gotcha.
But it's the only way for a referee to handle a situation like that. Mm-hmm. I go back to my days playing junior hockey. We had a situation much like that. There were so many guys in the penalty box and so few guys on the bench. And back in those days, in the 90s, okay, maybe the 80s, don't judge me.
Those were born in the 80s.
The penalty box was actually next to the bench, And what the referee did is he moved the penalty box to the bench, and he put the regular guys in the penalty box because it was just easier to maintain and keep everybody there. But yeah, you gotta find a way to maintain control. And I just love everybody on the ice. 10 minutes, they all sit because they didn't listen during the scrum afterwards. I thought it was just beautiful and magical.
Oh,
Hey, Charlie, you had an opportunity. I think we're maybe moving into the Firebird segment, which I love. You did 2 games back to back and covered them on a weekend. So tell me a little bit about that experience and going back to back and not only getting your stuff set up and all that, but just in general, we won one and lost one too. Just wondering about your experience there this past weekend.
Well, as you know, we get such privileged access to be able to see and not necessarily always interact with, except for in the post game interviews, but be at least close to the players. And we've seen before, we've talked about this, about their play on doubleheader weekends. Generally, we've seen that in an away situation, but this time obviously at home and against the same team. The Abbotsford Canucks. And the Abbotsford Canucks had, I think, also been traveling up until that point. So the Saturday game was great. I mean, they were electric. They seemed to be really doing well. And the cohesion was reminiscent of what we saw, about this time last year when, all the players' abilities really started to coalesce and they were really scoring a lot. And that was wonderful. But Sunday, obviously, there was a fire lit under Abbotsford. And, to their credit, they were chomping at the bit to play on Sunday. And I'm not sure that the boys ran out of gas so much as, you only get so many opportunities in a game. And capitalizing on those opportunities, as I'm sure Ed can attest to, is paramount. And Abbotsford got one more.
Did you get to see both goalies play, or was just Stetska in there for both rounds?
No, Stetska and then Morris played on Sunday.
Phenomenal. Could you tell the difference between the players and just your own observation there, or not enough to really make a difference in your mind yet?
Well, aside from the fact that Stetska is literally a giant.
He's very tall.
Yes, Stezzy is huge and very nice. He was in I've never seen him in a post-game interview, and he was in the other day. That day was his birthday, actually. So he had an extra special 4-0 shutout on his birthday. But other than their physical presence and size, I think that we see the system that the goalies are running for the Kraken. And Ed was, kind of talking about this earlier before we went live. Their aggressive nature is, really present in all of their play. And that was definitely true when you saw the shutout on Sunday. Kale came first shootout shot from the Abbotsford Canucks. Morris was right on top of it, way out there. And it's just a style that we're seeing those coaches must be running. Otherwise, no, their play is different insofar as they are different human beings. So, yeah, you can kind of tell.
And what about that for the Firebird segment? Do we have any highlights or other things that we want to bring up about the games and things that have been going on? Open to the panel.
We had the 4-0 win on Saturday night. Alex Stezka's birthday. He throws a shutout, and as big as he is at 6'4", the Abbotsford goaltender Tolopilo from Belarus. This guy is 6'6", 229.
Jesus,
what a huge goaltender! I mean,
it's a lot of human.
He filled
Covers
up
the whole net.
He filled up the bulk of the net. There's I challenge all of you to Google Amstel Light hockey commercial. You'll see a commercial from 20 years ago about a goaltender that filled up the whole net. It's funny as all get out.
I always thought about that as a kid. Why not just get the biggest human there, put the pads on, and stick them literally into the net where there's no space, and you would be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, maybe we'll show that commercial next week. In other results from the weekend, so we 4-0 win on Saturday. Overtime shootout loss on Sunday. We'll get into the shootout portion during point counterpoint,
which is coming right up. We're going to discuss whether shootouts should really be a part of the game.
Right up after we talk about the fact that Riker Evans, woohoo, back up with Seattle. Seattle's on a 6-game Eastern road trip right now. They pulled a 5-2 win against Buffalo last night. They've still never lost to the Buffalo Sabres. They're 5-0. Joey Decord, number 1 star of the game. And we talked about Joey Decord and his save percentage. There's a big push in Seattle, and I think there should be down here too, to vote Joey onto the NHL All-Star game this year.
Wouldn't that be just incredible to see Joey?
It would be, and it's possible. If everybody goes to NHL.com/vote, you can actually vote for Joey.
Charlie's doing it now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You didn't tell me about that before. Here, I got it. I'll put that up.
So NHL.com/vote. You have to register for the NHL site, but you're allowed 10 ballots per day, folks, every day. And the Seattle people have climbed all over this. They're trying to get Matty Beniers, Gordy,
thank you, social media,
onto the All-Star team for this year. And I personally, I think it's a little early for Joey. No disrespect intended, but heck, if the fans can make it happen, get your voice out there and be heard, my friends. NHL.com/vote.
It's the will of the people.
It's the will of the people.
Oh my gosh.
Stranger things have happened.
North American Hockey Authority, the will of the people. It sounds like things are changing here, but we're still talking about hockey, and we're still talking about the Firebird segment. Firebirds have been, having a little bit of a hard time at home, playing better away. Of course, goalie play, as it improves, our team seems to get better. It does seem like the goalies have such a big play and part of, especially momentum early and saves and things like that, or whether you're getting behind and playing from behind. So of course Joey was such a big factor in us having such great success last year in Calder Cup. We're so excited for him up at the Kraken, and he seems to be making a big difference up there. And I say we see him in the All-Star game. That's what I say.
Number 3 in the NHL, folks. Number 3.
Pretty cool. Hey,
to the top has been incredible.
Are we at point counterpoint since we're talking about shootouts? Should we just move right into it?
We are. And what a great segue, because I've been talking about this for ages. Shootouts are the worst possible way to end an overtime game.
But how do you feel about it, Ed? I want to know how you feel about it, though.
And damn if we didn't have to endure one on Sunday. And boy, I got to tell you, we looked unprepared. It was one thing that Morris in the net was just totally lost on all 3 attempts on him. We used Captain Max, Coland, and Podorowski, aka Pork Chop, on our 3 shots during the shootout.
Potsy.
Potsy.
Yes, and we went 0 for 3 on our shots. And I try to be constructive here. So the only word I can use to describe our shootout attempts on their goaltender is anemic. It was almost embarrassing. Like, oh my God, maybe we forgot to work on this during practice. And I know during practices, guys do breakaways and shootouts all the time, but it was an abysmal showing. Let's just say that.
So you don't like, so the point counterpoint isn't so much that the shootout should not be a part of the overtime part of the game, but the fact that the Firebirds are just not good at it right now.
No, actually, my point is shootout's a horrible way to end the game. And the fact that we sucked this weekend is just an added benefit to help prove my point.
All right, well, let's help the fans understand a little bit more, like in your mind, why do you think that shootouts in general, many would tell you it's very exciting, kind of comes down to the end. It's, hockey's long, both with, the Zamboni, the breaks and everything else. Then you have overtime 3-on-3, and then you get into the shootout. Some would say it's a great way to finish because otherwise you could be there all day long. But you don't like it. I'm just wondering, what don't you like about it?
Okay, to start with, hockey is a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
The shootout is anything but team.
Yeah.
I want that goal scored team versus team, like men in the playoffs.
But for an hour and 5 minutes, since it's a point counterpoint, or over an hour, they've been doing that and they haven't been able to settle it. So it maybe makes sense to break it down or turn it into a one component aspect, maybe shooter versus goalie, just to end the match or the game.
I get that. But the reason they went to 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5 for the shootout is that generally generates a goal in the first 5 minutes. And I'm here to say, if 5 minutes of 3-on-3 doesn't work, let's go 5 minutes of 2-on-2 and still score the goals like men playing hockey. No airbags here. We die like men.
Oh,
and we don't go to that wimpy shootout crap.
What do you think, Megan? Do you like the shootout as a fan?
No, and you don't say OT or overtime at all anywhere near that point because it's bad luck. But no, I'm not a fan, and I do agree with him. It was rough to watch. I'm defensive zone where I sit, so I watched how far KO got out of his net, and I think it was way too far. He should have learned the first time to not go out as far because he just left so much room for the player to come in and shoot. So it was rough, but I'm not a fan of shootouts, no.
What do you think, Charlie?
I also agree. As you see, I've written, undemocratic, and I think that it comes to that point of, it is a team sport, and I understand that, yeah, people have lives, and you shouldn't have to go 3 overtimes. But when you bring it down to a shootout, it is individual skill against individual skill, and the goalie bears an inordinate onus in that situation. Which is probably also unique to, Ed's perspective on this, because when you're put in that position, you're saving the 3 or 5 shots. It's not, one person. It's not the way it is when you're a forward taking shootout shots. So it has a place in the game. But as you see in playoffs, they don't do that for a reason.
So a couple things, the shootout seems to happen so quick, obviously. That's the one reason that I don't necessarily like it is, there's so much tension building and it could just be over in half a second, and if you lose, it's misery, it's horrible. And if you win, you barely even saw the goal shot. It's very hard to kind of get in to it at that point. I also think from an overtime perspective, why not play both ways? Right, you play that first segment in one direction, but in all fairness, we should at least play a second one to even it out, in my mind. Then maybe you could think about going to shootouts just to get people home.
Megan, you were going to say something?
Yes. My boss's husband just walked up to me to inform me that I believe Evans has been selected to play in the All-Star game this year.
No way.
Phenomenal. Congratulations. I wish we're going to have to get an applause button. You know that, Charlie?
Right?
Oh, you know what?
We're going to have to get some. There we go. There we go.
Possibly.
Congratulations.
I'm trying to pull it up and double check.
You know, don't you just love it when the boss is involved? We should bring the boss on to the next show, and that way we just have you on every show.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fantastic.
Well,
you know,
it's so great to have
Megan.
an added face on
He
this.
has. I don't think I can turn my camera around, but
throw us a shout out as to where you're working, so your boss gets and the business get recognition.
yeah, I work at a design studio. It's called Fitzwell Interiors. So
there
we
you
do
go.
everything here.
Hey guys,
Chemistry, design, all of it. No, we're off of Cook.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, Craig, everybody, I would like to thank you, but I do have to go. So.
Oh, well, you know, we're about to finish the last segment. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you from your boss for letting us have you. And you know what? We're going to see you down there on the ice rink soon. And we love you, Megan.
Of course,
You're the
love you
best.
guys too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Hey guys, we're not going anywhere. We're about to end our last segment. We are the North American Hockey Authority. Craige Campbell for today's California.com, here with Ed Heethuis, our off-ice official for the AHL Coachella Valley Firebirds, and Charlie down in the lower box, our producer and engineer for today. Also a credentialed media for the Firebirds, representing the Coachella Valley Media Group. So what a great crew. So much fun to have Megan. I really loved it. And you know what, Ed, it kind of leaves you with the peeve of the week. I mean, we could just finish with whatever's on your mind.
So before I get totally into the peeve of the week, my friends, I need to give a shout out to my national champion, University of Michigan Wolverines, who
Can we
beat
mute him?
Washington in the national championship game on Monday night. Hey,
I have a mute button.
If you guys want to know why the show notes were late and the show prep was late, I was a little busy celebrating on Monday night. So,
wait. Since you have a shout out, we might as well just get all the shout outs out before you give us your Ed's peeve of the week. The American Express, the first tournament here, or the 48 Continuous States PGA Tour, is visiting us next week, the 17th through the 21st, right here in La Quinta, PGA West and La Quinta Country Club. 3 different courses. It's the Old Bob Hope Chrysler Classic, and it fires up here, the Pro-Am right here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, there's two concerts. We have Urban and Train Friday and Saturday right here in La Quinta. I think you can go over to theamexgolf.com and take a look at that for tickets and other information. So wanted to thank you, American Express, for bringing us along to do photography and media again this year. Will be the 12th year for us. So pretty excited about that. Just wanted to give a shout out to that. And now back to you, Ed.
And I love the Amex, Craig. Greg Paisley played 2 years ago on my birthday. I always know when Amex is coming because it's birthday time. And looking forward to this year as well. It's one of the most beautiful courses in the world when they've got that ready for that tournament.
There's actually 3 courses, and it's what's very unique about the American Express. Played on 3 different courses, and it's a Pro-Am in addition. So both of those are very unique within the PGA Tour, and the first play in the contiguous 48 states. We're out there in Hawaii right now, and they just finished up, and then they come out over here and play. Sorry about that, Ed. Excuse me.
Oh, good. So, peeve of the week. This one is relatively specific. I think that when you've tried something new and it doesn't work, it's okay to jettison the idea and move on, as opposed to continuing to beat your head against a brick wall. But back in at the beginning of the season, October, November, the Firebirds announced that on Sunday games, they would wear their red Sunday Fun Day alternate jerseys. Do we have a shot of those by chance?
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll come up with one for you.
So I applaud the team for coming up with a third jersey, and it's a gorgeous design. The logo's a little small for my liking, but it's okay. The front of the jersey is a palm tree with 9 fronds on it, representing the 9 cities that make up the Coachella Valley. And the sentiment is awesome. That version of the logo appears as a shoulder patch on the regular jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in time, in January of 2024, we have yet to win a game wearing those red jerseys on Sunday. I don't know about anybody else. I'm done with them. And here's the deal. Okay, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's think about the community. I say we auction those jerseys off as game worn, because they are, like we do with the De Los Muertos jerseys, the Military Appreciation Night jerseys, and all the other Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys, the Christmas jersey, all the stuff that we've done. Let's auction those off, and let's start with a clean slate. Let's take something from our parent team, the Kraken, and build on that and try something else for the rest of the year. Because Sunday Fun Day red jerseys, no bueno, my friends. 0 for this entire season.
A little superstition working its way in there in Ed Heethuis's mind.
Right.
You'd think an off-ice official would be a little more objective, but he's a fan first, and that's what I hear Ed's sharing today. It's such a great idea. We could auction them off and bring in new and fresh ones until we start winning with them, and then they can wear them again.
Guess,
it makes no sense to chase bad blood after bad blood. It's not working. The team isn't used to watching the other players in red, and it ain't working. So let's try something new.
Hey guys, been a wonderful Wednesday. You're watching North American Hockey Authority. I've had a great time today. It's been very unique. Of course, we had Megan join us a little bit earlier. Megan Ruth, you can go see her at Instagram, Megan Ruth Photography. Take a look at a bit of some of her work and some of the work that she's done for us, for the Coachella Valley Media Group. Charlie down below, appreciate you, Charlie, all the hard work and getting us going and getting us set up as always. And just go ahead, please.
No, I just said, of course.
Oh.
It's my pleasure. And also, I have a picture of these red jerseys. It's just uploading right now.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, if you get them in there before we say goodbye, that's great. Otherwise, you know what? We wanted to get rid of them.
Here.
Oh, here we are. We're going to see it. How do you feel about that, Ed?
These are the red alerts.
You know how I feel, and I'm keeping my hands on the table for a reason. I'm about to call that jersey number 1.
Yeah, well.
Hey, guys,
anyway.
You join us every Wednesday at 12 o'clock right here on this station. Make sure to invite your friends and family to join us. If you're watching, if you're not watching live, but you're watching one of our playbacks, of course, put the comments in there still, because we go back and answer them and do the best that we can to give you the information that you're looking for. Always looking for fun and participation by you guys. I've had a great time. I've really enjoyed it. And till next week, Craige Campbell for Today's California.
See you guys.
Be good humans.
See you next time.
See you guys.